What's up, everybody? It's Chef Hesh from KickAzzEats.com, and tonight we're going to make you something very, very simple and very, very delicious. It's essentially a one skillet meal. We are going to be using some boiling bag rice, so you're going to need a pot. But aside from that, everything else, our rotel, our seasonings, everything that we're going to use for our sauce is going to go in one skillet. We're going to brown up some meat, we're going to set it aside, we're going to make our pan sauce, put the meat back into the pan sauce, and then serve it over rice. It's going to be delicious, you're going to love it, and it's going to be kick-ass. Wait and see what's coming. Okay, folks, the first thing we're going to want to do is simply open our package of meat. And what I'm using here, stew meat you get from the store. They cut it for you. It's great, it's inexpensive, and it is absolutely delicious. So, we bring it over here, and you know, if you're a guy like me, you always carry a knife. We're going to open this up, we're going to throw it in here with a little bit of oil and get it browning. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, we're good to go. Let's get to cooking. One thing that you want to do, heat the pan and actually oil it a little bit before you put your meat in. You've got a cold pan, skillet, whatever you want to call it, you're going to have a bad time. We're trying to do a nice heavy sear here. We want it to get nice and brown, seared on all sides. We're going to stir it around, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, maybe some garlic, a little bit of Worcestershire, a little bit of soy. We want to make sure that this has flavors on every single level. Every single level. Remember to always season every single ingredient that you use. If it doesn't taste good by itself, it's not going to taste good with anything else. Just a little tip. Seasonings are cheap. You don't have to use the best stuff. Look at this. I'm using generics. And you know what? It's going to taste restaurant quality, I guarantee you. Let's see what's next. Olive oil, squeeze bottle, nice and simple. You don't have to buy anything expensive at all. This is for lubrication, not for taste. So, hey, get it. Walmart, 97 cents. You get the little squeezy bottle. Makes it nice and easy. I mean, come on, be efficient here. You got this. What we're going to do here is we're going to add a little bit of olive oil into our pan. Nice and simple. It is a non-stick chefware pan, but that's okay. We want to make sure nothing sticks. We don't want to overwork our pan. Just kind of give it a nice little coating. One thing that you are going to want when you start this is your salt and your pepper. Never, ever, ever forget salt and pepper. Okay, these are like the two basic ingredients. Wars were fought over salt. That's how good this is. And you don't want it to taste like salt. You want to use salt to bring out the flavor in the dish that you are creating. So, use it sparingly. I would recommend kosher salt, although I'm not using kosher salt with this particular recipe because, well, I ran out yesterday and I haven't bought any more. So, I gotta go back to the store. Remind me. Thank you. Now what we're going to do here is we are going to make sure our pan is evenly coated, and we're going to let this come up almost to the smoke point. Not much. You don't want it smoking yet because we don't want to cook this completely through. It's going to cook in the sauce after we add our vegetables, which pepper and onion blend. You get this for like $1 at Walmart, you know, your local grocery store. It's like $1. The fresh ones are going to cost you a lot more. We're going to use a little bit of rotel with the juice. Do not drain this rotel. It's going to add a lot more flavor because we've got the tomato and we've got the chilies. So we've got tomato, we've got chilies, we've got onion, red bell peppers, green bell peppers. This was only $1. So for $2, we've got a ton of vegetable ingredients to use. Absolutely beautiful. These, $1. Come on now. This, about $1.48. For just a few dollars, you can make an extremely kick-ass meal. using very simple ingredients that you get at Walmart, your local grocery store. You don't have to go high-end to make high-end meals. Let's see what's coming up next. So, now that our skillet is come up to temperature and I just dumped hot oil all over my foot, we're just simply going to start adding our meat. And you can see it's already toast. Why do it yourself? You can have a professional do it for you. You hear that? Do you hear that? That is the sound of deliciousness. All we have to do at this point, add a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, soy and Worcestershire, and brown it. That's it. Check it out. You want to make sure that you stir this without dropping a piece out like I just did. See, it's already starting to come to color. And that's all we want. We just want to brown it up and make it really nice and delicious. Pro tip here. Nobody likes gray meat. And I mean nobody likes gray meat. Brown it. And then sauce it. It will taste better, it will look better, and it will present better. The most important part here is taste. That's why we're able to use such cheap ingredients, because we can make them taste good. So let's continue to cook together. Check it out. We give it a general work around here. This is a lot of meat. This is about 3 pounds of stew meat. It's quite a bit. And, you know, I say use salt sparingly because we're going to add salt with the soy and the Worcestershire sauces. So we don't want to use too much table salt. If you had kosher, use it. If you don't, no problem. We're also going to generously season this with black pepper. Give it a good whack. See, it might look like a lot, but it really isn't, because this is also going into the sauce. We're going to take all of the drippings, all of the juices from this wonderfully delicious meat, and we're going to use that to build our pan sauce. And I tell you, pan sauces are absolutely wonderful. You will love them. They're quick, they're easy, they're simple. It's essentially drippings, a pat of butter, stir it, let it reduce, you're done. You've got a beautiful sauce. Let's check it out. Okay, see, we're almost there. We've got this meat beautifully browned. Kind of want to flatten it out of the pan a little bit and let it go. Let it do its thing. It's going to slowly come to temp, and that's fine because we don't want it to temp yet. We just want a nice crisp on it. We want it to look delicious, gorgeous, brown. So let it sit. Don't play with it too much. It'll finish cooking in the sauce with the vegetables later. Now, for our next step. One thing that you want to have at the ready is a 4-quart pot of water. Why? For our rice. A lot of people, when they're cooking pasta, when they're cooking rice, they don't salt the water. Salting the water not only lowers the boiling point so it cooks quicker, but it makes it taste better. Osmosis, people. Read up on it. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of salt, throw in this water. I'm going to get it on the boil because this rice only takes 10 minutes. So the last 10 minutes while we're making our sauce, that'll be boiling. Boom, we're done at the same time. It'll be amazing. Trust me. You can see here that we've just got our 4-quart on high with a little bit of salt in it. That's it. Nice, easy, simple. Don't stick your fingers in the water because it gets hot. Now check out what we've got going on here in this skillet. Oh my Lord. Remember I said not to play with it too much. Sometimes it's tempting. See, I get really tempted and I just want to play with it. This is coming along very, very nicely. It's got a good color. We're getting a good little sear on it. When it finishes in that sauce, oh. You're going to love this, I guarantee you. Don't forget, make it your own. If you want to change up some seasonings, some spices, do it. Experiment. Have fun. That's one of the best parts of cooking, is having fun. Experimenting. Like, what can I make today? Okay, I've got these ingredients. How can I put them together in such a manner that makes them perfect? Ha! Try it. And if you don't know, ask me. I'll tell you. Once again, we're going to take this and we're just going to let it sit and do its thing. I've got it nice and stirred, and we're going to let it just cook. That's what we're doing here. We're cooking. So let's sit, relax, see what happens. And when this is done, and the pot of water that is right there is at a nice boil, I will get the vegetables started. And the best thing about these vegetables is they're going to cook really quickly. That rice is going to cook really quickly. And at the end, we put the sauce and the meat on the rice and we enjoy. You'll see the photos later once I'm done. Wait for this. It's going to be awesome. Once you have your meat fairly well cooked, not completely cooked. We don't want to completely cook this. What you want to do is remove it into a bowl, reserving all juices. And when I say all juices, I mean all juices. This is what we're going to use to make our sauce. And it's going to taste absolutely delicious. So, just take a bowl, any old bowl. It doesn't matter what you've got going on. Oh, you know what? Hold on one moment. One of my cameras went down. I need to fix that. Okay, so apparently I've run out of memory on one of them, but we still got a decent shot here. So, hey, we'll work with what we got, because that's what we're doing anyways, right? Take your meat, throw it in a bowl, super simple. See, there's my bowl, there's my meat. I'm going to remove it. Drain it out a little bit, because we want to save as many ounces of that juice as we can. We should have a little more than a half a cup. This is a process. It takes a minute or two, but you know what? I guarantee you, it's going to be worth it. You're going to love this. It's going to be tasty. Just watch what we do. See? And yeah, I know I touched the meat, but that's fine. It's my damn dinner, so I can touch it because, you know, if I'm eating it and I'm making it, well, I can touch it. And I do wash my hands. You might not see that in every shot, but trust me, I wash my hands. This is the boring step. It takes a little minute, but that's okay. This is to quote Chef John, this is you cooking. This is what happens. And it's worth it, trust me. Once we've got our meat set into a bowl, we want to let it rest for a little bit. It's going to continue to cook as it sits because, well, I mean, it's still hot, you know. It's going to keep cooking. In the meantime, what we want to do is take our peppers and onions and open those suckers. Nice and simple. You can use a knife, you can use scissors, whatever works best for you. I'm going to take some of these and I'm going to dump them out. Do I have an exact measurement? No, not really. Some people like more peppers and onions. Some people like less peppers and onions. That's up to you. Once again, to quote Chef John, that's just you cooking. These look alright to me. I don't think that I need to take these and slice them up at all. I mean, they're already, oh, there we go. Now it's in the shot. They're already sliced up. I think they look like a decent size. Good enough for me. So, watch what we're going to do next. We're going to take our peppers and onions, and we're just going to dump them right into the sauce. Boom. Done. Give them a little stir. We want them to be coated in all of that delicious, delicious dripping from that beef that we just sauteed. It's going to be great. We got a nice little crisp on it. Make sure that your stove is a little bit higher than medium. Because if it's on low, it's not going to cook right. We want to saute these. We want them to be sweet and tender and delicious. We want them to soak in all those flavors. One of the keys, when we finish the sauce, butter. I use Blue Bonnet. It's nice and cheap. You can get 4 sticks for $1. I mean, so it's 25 cents. I'm not even going to use the entire stick of butter. Great value, nice and cheap, makes Kickazz Eats. Boom. Buy it. Why not? So in the meantime, as we are reheating, and we're stirring these around, one of the things that we're going to want to do is get our rotel. Why? Because why not? It's $1 a can. It's just diced tomatoes and green chilies. It's pretty simple, pretty basic, but absolutely delicious and makes some Kickazz Eats, and that's what we're here for, right? So just take the can over. One of the things you are not going to want to do here, assuming I can get this can opener to work without breaking it like I just did. I just bought this thing today. What's going on here? I don't know. Assuming you can get this to actually work without destroying it, you open the can. You don't drain this at all. We want that juice. We're going to add that to our sauce. We throw that little pat of butter in there, and we've got something good going. Trust me. It's going to be delicious. It'll be even better if I can actually get this can open, which I can't because this thing just immediately destroyed itself. But that's okay. We work with what we have, don't we? Always. That's what makes. That's Kickazz Eats right there. We just work with what we got. And see? Pay attention to your equipment, and even if it falls apart, you can at least get it working enough to use it once. Hey. So here we are. We've got these peppers, we've got these onions, and they're just doing their thing. Nice and slow. They're releasing their water while absorbing the beef juice. We've also got some fat in here, and we want fat because fat is flavor. So that's what we want. Boom. Look at this. That's an entire can of Rotel chilies. Tomatoes. We're just going to stir this in. How amazing is this going to be? It's going to be very amazing, I tell you. I wasn't really asking you, I was just kind of letting you know this is going to be kick-ass. Stir it. Let these flavors incorporate. That's what we want. And I wish you could smell this. It just smells absolutely amazing right now. So we're going to let it sit. The only things that we're going to add to this, and it's just a couple of ingredients: soy sauce. About a half a tablespoon. Worcestershire sauce. Once again, about a half a tablespoon. See, just like this. That's it. I kind of want to add some black pepper to it. What do you guys think? Should I add the black pepper or should I not? Let me know in the comments below. I think I might add a little bit. This is going on rice, and black pepper is one of my favorite ingredients, as you will come to find out. So, yeah, let me know in the comments below. We'll figure it out. But I I think I'm going to add some. And once again, Member's Mark. This was like 99 cents for this giant thing of black pepper. Don't be scared. Get it. You don't need name brand stuff all the time because it's all the same. It comes from the same places. And it's all about flavor. Not fancy. There we go. We're going to add a little bit of this pepper. So we've got a nice simmer going on here. And that's what we want. We want to let this simmer. We want to cook these vegetables through. We want to marry those flavor profiles. And once we've achieved that, the next step is really, really simple. What we're going to do is we're going to take some butter, toss it in that skillet, add our meat, and cook it at the same time as we're cooking our rice. So in the 10 minutes that it takes for that pan sauce to complete, with the chilies, with the bell peppers, with the onions, the tomatoes, oh, the meat's going to be done cooking. So it's all done at the same time. And regardless of how long this video may seem, this is almost a one skillet, 30-minute recipe. And it didn't cost very much to make at all. I guarantee you, if you were to order something like this at a restaurant that you went to, no matter where you're at, what state, what country, doesn't matter, you're going to get a lot more than I did with these ingredients. And it only took me about the same time you'd wait for it anyways. So, make this. You're going to love it. Check this out. Look at that golden simmer right there. Oh, that is beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous, and oh, I really, once again, wish you could smell this. Now, if we pan over here, look, boom. There's our pot of boiling water. Don't put your fingers in that because that's going to hurt. For the rice. Since we're using this super cheap boiling bag rice, all you have to do, open it, throw a bag in there, wait 10 minutes. Super simple, but kick-ass. You're going to love this. Got little bags of rice, and all you do is bring them over here and throw them right in, just like that. I kind of like do it like a tea bag, and I kind of make sure they're nice and wet before I just leave them. 10 minutes later, we've got beautiful rice. In the meantime, we've got to pay attention to our sauce here. Now, one of the things about this sauce is it's very quick, it's very simple. And because it's quick, you have to pay attention to it. Keep it moving. Every few minutes, just kind of give it a little stir because we want, once again, all the flavors. See, now I screwed that one up. That's going to be edited out. We want all the flavors to marry. And we want to make sure that we've got enough liquid here because when I add the butter, it's going to add flavor. It's also going to make this sauce a little bit, I don't want to say moister because that's incorrect, but it's going to add liquid to it because of the butter fats. That's where we get the flavor, and that's also where we get the liquid. We don't want to use a thickener like cornstarch or anything like that. We want this to be pan sauce. So we just use the liquids that have cooked out of the vegetables. We use the liquids that have cooked out of the meats. Add a little bit of butter. Well, we're in business. Now, one thing you want to do is keep an eye on your time. 10 minutes, that rice is done. Don't do it for 20 minutes because you're going to have some really crappy rice that has melted plastic in it. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I know I don't like melted plastic in my food. So we'll figure that out. I've got my meat. It's been a few minutes. This sauce is looking like it's about ready for the meat. Wait! We haven't put our butter in. We want to put the butter in first. Usually I use about 2 tablespoons of butter for something like this. What I'm going to do this time is I'm going to use a single tablespoon. Just cut it out. There it is. Now see? Here we go. We just drop that in. Why am I going to use a tablespoon now while it's still cooking and a tablespoon later? I got the meat. I've got to put the meat into the sauce. Okay, great. I need to finish cooking the meat. I need this hot. Once this is starting to cool down a little bit, that's when I add my last little pat of butter, and that will bring the sauce together. And it will do so with the leftover juices from the meat. And we're not cooking this meat like well done. Like, who wants a piece of charcoal? No. This will be nice, medium, and juicy, flavorful with the sauce on the rice. Oh, just wait. Watch. You're gonna see it. It's happening. You want to make sure that butter is stirred into the sauce and incorporated well. Now, it's going to emulsify a little bit. I know you hear that on the other cooking shows, and it sounds like some fancy word, but it's the truth. This is what happens. This is science, folks. Look at that gorgeous sauce. Oh. And the best part is, we're getting our vegetables with our meat at the same time, and we get some starch from the rice. Huh. It's a one skillet deal. Well, aside from the pot we use for the rice, but I mean, come on. It's 2 dishes and we're done. You know, not a lot to wash. You'll be alright. What we're going to do now is take our meat, and while this is still at a very, very heavy simmer, we're going to add it. We're just going to stir it in. Just like that. We just keep this simmering. We don't want to reduce it too much, but we do want to impart flavor, tenderness. That's what we're going for, ultimately. We're about there. You can hear it. Oh, it smells so good. Oh my Lord. We'll take a little piece, we'll try it. Cool. We just keep this simmering. We don't want to reduce it too much, but we do want to impart flavor, tenderness. That's what we're going for, ultimately. We're about there. You can hear it. Oh, it smells so good. Oh my Lord. We'll take a little piece, we'll try it. Oh yeah. We're there. We're there. At this point, we're just waiting on the rice. Once the rice is done, I'll show you how to plate this up, and you're gonna love it.